خلقك فسواك فعدلك ما ضرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك كلا بل تكذبون بالدين وإن عليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبين يعلمون ما تفعلون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين وما هم عنها بغائبين وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا السماء انشقت وأذنت لربها وحقت وإذا الأرض مدت وألقت ما فيها وتخلت وألقت ما فيها وتخلت وأذنت لربها وحقت يا أيها الإنسان إنك كادح إلى كدحا فملاقيه فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا وينقلب إلى أهله مسرورا وأما من أوتي كتابه وراء ظهره فسوف يدعو ثبورا ويصلى سعيرا إنه كان في أهله مسرورا إنه ظن أن لن يحور بلى إن ربه كان به بصيرا فلا أقسم بالشفق والليل وما وسق والقمر إذا اتسق لتركبن طبقا عن طبق فما لهم لا يؤمنون وإذا قرئ عليهم القرآن لا يسجدون بل الذين كفروا يكذبون والله أعلم بما يوعون فبشرهم بعذاب أليم إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم أجر غير ممنون صدق الله العظيم. صلوات.
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
صلوات. When the hot sun set On Ashura, bodies lay scattered in Karbala. Did they have no shame? Ahlul Bayt was slain. Zainab lamented to Fatima. Oh dearest mother, Ya Fatima, look what has happened in Karbala. Come back and save us, they have betrayed us. Zainab lamented to Fatima. When your son Hussein took his beloved to the battlefield for some water, they quenched his thirst with a 3-point arrow. Zahra, you do not want to know more. Even a baby was martyred thirsty. Even a baby was martyred thirsty. Zainab lamented to Fatima. Oh dearest mother, Ya Fatima, look what has happened in Karbala. Come back and save us, they have betrayed us. Zainab lamented to Fatima. When Hussein's son Akbar gave the azan, they thought Rasulullah was calling. It struck them that they were on the wrong side, but then they saw Ali Akbar speaking. They had no decency and felt no sympathy. They had no decency and felt no sympathy. Zainab lamented to Fatima. Oh dearest mother, Ya Fatima, look what has happened in Karbala. Come back and save us, they have betrayed us. Zainab lamented to Fatima. When my 2 young sons, Orn and Muhammad, went out and fought valiantly, I was grateful and thanked the Almighty for what a blessing He'd given me, defending the truth, rejecting falsehood, defending the truth, rejecting falsehood. Zainab lamented to Fatima. Oh dearest mother, Ya Fatima, look what has happened in Karbala. Come back and save us, they have betrayed us. Zainab lamented to Fatima. That night after Hussein had been martyred, I stood outside alone with my sword. I was the guardian of all the children, but then a man did slowly approach. When he came closer, was it my father? When he came closer, was it my father? Zainab lamented to Fatima. Oh dearest mother, Ya Fatima, look what has happened in Karbala. Come back and save us, they have betrayed us. Zainab lamented to Fatima. When your great-grandson will reappear, he will resemble Rasulullah. He will come back near the holy Kaaba and avenge the blood of Karbala. Salam on you, son, the holy 12th one. Salam on you, son, the holy 12th one. Zainab lamented to Fatima, O dearest mother, Ya Fatima, look what has happened in Karbala. Come back and save us, they have betrayed us. Zainab lamented to Fatima. Muhammadin wal Muhammad salawat.
Thank you for that wonderful recitation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you all for coming. So tonight's program is sponsored on behalf of the following marhumeen. It is sponsored for the Salih Sahib Marhuma Zamira Sheikh, Marhuma Nur Jahan Ali Bhai, Marhuma Nurubata, Janum Teja, Sahareen Pyari Ramtullah, Gulbanu Karmali Qasim. Marhumeen of the Bata family, Abdullah Maulidina family, Sheikh family, Maulidina Damani family, Teja family, Rajab Ali Maulidina family, Karmali Qasim family, Ahmed Latha family, Abdullah Muhammad family, Jumai Rajani family, Haji Ladak family, Bakr Yusuf Habib, Momin Zadeh family, Parwani family, Muhammad Ali Abdullah family, Kareem Qasim family, Sayani family, Muhammad Mulji family, Dala family, Marhum Sayyid Muzaffar Abbas, Marhum Akil Lalji, Marhum Kasan Haider and Mahdiya, Marhum Azarba Ramtullah, and all Marhumin can recite Surah Fatiha for them. Can I request you while you're reciting the Surah Fatiha to move as far forward as possible, please? Okay, we'll now proceed to the lecture of tonight, for which can we please invite Sheikh Arif with the loud salawat. Yeah, sure. Get some water for Sheikh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين شفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين وأصحابه المنتجبين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى قيام يوم الدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمسابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين عليه الصلاة والسلام بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We have stated that we are feeling this need to find who we are, where we are, our purpose in life. Something that is substantive, that can sustain us. Something that can ground us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, He gives the example of a good word, like a good tree, whose roots are firmly embedded within the earth, and whose branches extend towards the heavens, that produce fruit at every instance. This is the grounding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about. And this is the grounding that we are after. We need to know who we are, where we are, what is it all about. We need to live a substantive life, that I am alive, I am living. As opposed to the other example that Allah gives. And Allah gives the example of a tree that is not wholesome, whose roots are above the earth, that has no stability. It is always wavering. It has no resolve. It has no strength of its own. It has no grounding. This is an example of the souls who carry on living in this world, carve out an arbitrary meaning, a meaning that does not sustain. For every time we come to a meaning, there is something in there that says, is there no more? Is there nothing else? Is this all that there is? We very lazily and conveniently beguile ourselves. We delude ourselves and fool ourselves that we are on firm footing. Nay, if only we knew how precarious our positions are. If only we knew that there is no ark of safety beneath us. We are actually in the turbulent ocean, and there is no plank of wood that we can cling on to. If only the effect of the happy pill would wear off and we would know that we are drowning. Then we would start swimming frantically to get to the shores of safety. The fact that we are so happy with our state, and the fact that the prophets of God used to yearn God and ask Allah to reveal Himself even further and ask God, show me how you look. Moses said that. Ibrahim says, oh Lord, I find no rest inside me. If only we would awaken to our natural state, we would not be so complacent. As we go into this talk, does it make sense to anyone that people in the name of one God kill each other? Does it make sense to anyone that people who advocate that this great God has created everything that is seen and everything that is unseen, and then render Him so petty as to favor you and not He? And to make Him so low that He accepts your prayers and not His, and to make Him so confined to human pettiness that they forget His greatness? Because they could not become as great as He is, they lowered Him to their own levels. They made Him as petty as they are. This is our state. So in search of meaning, in search of God, the one that we look for, as we said, Isa said to these people, the second group that he found, whose faces appeared to be bright, whose backs were bent, who were reduced to bones and flesh, what has brought this to you? They said, it is the love of paradise. Isa said, by God, He will give you that paradise. This is a nobler quest for God. God who is still the other. The human mind opens up after the insecurities, and it begins to think, now why do we move from insecurity to a nobler state? I always say this, that the Muslims and the Christians and all the missionaries have got it wrong. We go and give the Quran and the Bible and Saif Sajadi and Nahjul Balagha to hungry, starving people, to people who do not know the meaning of peaceful existence. What will they do with that Nahjul Balagha? Will they eat it? Will they place it over their heads to give them shelter? The fundamental need is the animalistic need, the menial necessities. Feed our stomachs first. Give us a roof over our heads. Give us safety and security. Only then can a finer human being awaken. Once that level is ascertained, then the finer person awakens and they say, the beautiful control that is there within the earth, within the cosmos at large, who controls it? It doesn't have a mind of its own. Which is the hand that is directing it all? We know that a rock does not think, that a plant has no mind. Who makes it grow so beautifully? Who is the engineer? Which is the hand that is turning the stars and the moon and the sun? It is here then we say, there has to be a God that turns all spheres in their own orbits, in their own axis. It has to be God who causes the earth to produce its plants, who brings about a beautiful ecological balance. And as we go into it, we find that no, the world is a thinking being. There is no other controlling it. The one that we want to find above the nature, above and beyond the world, is well embedded within the world itself. That other that we yearn for, the one that is controlling the world, is very much immanent within the world. There is no such other. And it is here that the confidence in God as the other begins to diminish. And this is what has happened in the scientific world. When the religious people, through the teleological arguments of design and teleology, that everything follows a perfect end, a particular goal, and they say that nature does not think for itself, so another hand should be involved in directing nature. When religious minds advocated this sense of God, the human mind found out that nature governs its own self. It is very much alive to herself. The world is a living being. What need is there for that other God? And the mind still yearns. After having satisfied this inquisitive mind that who governs nature, after saying that no, nature governs her own self, the question comes, but still I find no rest. Still I find there is a need to find Him. The problem is squarely on this, that we are looking for the other. We are not looking for the one. Allahu Akbar. He says, هُوَ الْأَوَّلُ وَالْآخِرُ وَالظَّاهِرُ وَالْبَاطِنُ. He is the first, He is the last, He is the apparent, He is the hidden. My goodness, if only we would awaken to this. He is not beyond nature or above nature. Nature sings the presence of His glory. The glory of His presence is very much immanent within nature. But we are not accustomed to look within. We are accustomed to look for one outside, without. So now, where do we find this God? Because we haven't understood Him. We are still looking for one beyond. So we say now, humanity must be a moral humanity. We must value justice. We must rid the world of poverty. We must provide everybody their menial needs. Everybody must be educated. Everyone has to be a literate person. Who is the mover here? Who moves the minds into arriving at the state of human completion? It is God. God is the supreme agency that prompts us to complete the human journey. With the passage of time, what did we find? That a secularist world advocates human morality. If God is needed for the completion of human morals, we found that human condition in itself is prompting us to complete human morals. Today, the majority of the world that is working for equality, justice, righteousness, fair play, a righteous economy, need for ethical transactions, a good ecological balance and the human consumption, is not the religious world, is the secular world that is going to get there without the aid of God. How interesting is this? Wherever we thought we will find God, we find nothing but the human being. Isn't this interesting? Have you ever thought that it is only through the denial of God that human beings have become God-like? Think about this carefully. When the roaring wave subdued us, what did we do? We created crafts that can sail them. But until we worship the stars to grant us safety, we did not dip our toes within the oceans. It is only when we threw away God, the other God, the false God, that the God that works through us emerged. Interesting is the story of the son of Adam. Until we worshipped God in awe, we remained backwards. As we threw God aside and gained confidence within ourselves, we mastered all the things that we were fearful of. Isn't that interesting? We worshipped God to cure malaria. At some point we said, enough of this worship of God, let us find cure ourselves. How interesting is this? At the denial of God is the God found. La ilaha. As if God has always said this, that the one that you are looking for is not there. The one that you don't realize is there. Before I confuse everybody, let us just give the answer before we get there. Yes, we've got 3 more days, but I fear if I tease the mind so much, the minds may not appear tomorrow. Please read the salawat and come forward. You know, I was in Australia. They said you have stretched the rubber band so much, any more and it's going to snap. So let's give a glimpse of the answer. It's like a deja vu that you will feel in 3 days' time. Hussein said what? He said, "Oh Lord, when were you at a distance? You were always close. It is I who has remained at a distance from you." Did you hear that? I am trying to find a God who is at a distance from me. Who is the other? Hussein says what? "Oh Lord, when were you at a distance from me? You were always here. It was I who was at a distance from you. Oh Lord, when were you hidden that you needed to be seen? Blind are the eyes that do not see you. Oh Lord, should I look at the nature and say, who is the one who is controlling the nature? When I see you so clearly standing before, beyond, and with nature." Allah says, "Huwa ma'akum aynama kuntum." He is with you wherever you are. Our quest for God has started off on a wrong footing. Whenever we try to find Him beyond ourselves, He revealed Himself through us. We tried to find Him through insecurity. He was found through us. He rid our insecurity through us. We tried to find Him through the workings of the cosmos. Who is guiding the cosmos? He revealed that no, the guidance is within, not from outside. How beautiful is the story of those fish, like us, who were in search of God. We must find the substance of our creation. Oh, little fish, what is the substance of your creation? It is water, we are told. But we do not see water. What is this water? This divine thing that has made us. But there is somebody who has seen it, we are told. Let us take the arduous task of finding the Great One. They swim the 7 oceans. They come to the Great One. They say, "Oh, wise one." We are told that you see water and you show water, the giver of all life. "Why have you come to me?" the wise one asked. "In order for you to show us water." The wise one said, "Show me a place where there is no water, and then I shall show you a place where there is water." This is our story with God. Where is there no God that we should show you God? The searcher and the seeker does not know what they are seeking for. It is a blind man trying to see. All he has to do is to open his eyes. So now, We try to look for him in design, but the design is imminent within the system. Then we look for him for the creation of noble human morals. But noble human morals are within humanity. We do not need a God to impose upon our minds a sense of nobility. We are born with nobility. And they are actualizing whether we like it or not. In the past, people conducted wars in the name of religion. Today we reject religion because it causes war. There is a religion beyond a religion today, isn't there? There is righteousness beyond righteousness today, isn't there? Born from the very human condition in which we exist. So then Isa passes by a third group of people, and he sees them, and he sees the illumination of divinity and the splendor of God appearing upon their beings. Isa falls in love with them. He says, "O people, what has brought you to this state?" They say, "O Spirit of God, it is the love of God that has brought us to this state." Isa says, "Wallah antumus sabiqun al-awwalun." You are the forerunners by God. Allah says in the surah, "Was-sabiqun as-sabiqun." You are the sabiqun. Indeed, you are the ones. What happens is that after we search for God everywhere, and we do not find him because he is nowhere to be found, we come to a very intimate level within ourselves. At that point, we say, "Oh Allah," or we say, "Oh soul." Everything is explained away. There is no more insecurity. There is no more scientific quest to try and understand nature. There is no more need for God in the creation of human nobility and human morals. Yet, I feel inside myself a total state of lack and emptiness. As if I am a product of the society. I do not even feel I am here. I am a construct of the demands of society. My personality, my show, it is a mere role play. It is not me. The real me inside nobody understands. This is a very deep sense of quest for God. And this is the first awakening. But even here, God is the other. He is not the one. He is still the other. So here we open our hearts to God. We say, "Oh God, enough with everything. I come to you acknowledging myself to you. I need you to accept me as I am. Oh God, I need a friend. I need somebody to acknowledge me at the core of my being. I am not the one that people associate me with. I am not the one that appears to the world. I don't even know who I am. All I know is my dire state of lack and need. And this need asks me to search you." At this point, God is found internally, but still as the other, not the one. But he is found internally. Now think about this very carefully. That hadith we will bring to mind. That Jibreel says to Allah, "O Lord, he has died. He is lowered inside his grave. There is constriction, loneliness, and darkness. He's unaccustomed to all three of these." God says, "Gabriel, what do you intend?" Jibreel says, "Lord, allow me to go to him and to keep him company." God says, "Jibreel, did he know you and recognize you during his life?" Jibreel says, "No." God says, "Then of what benefit is your going there? It will yield no benefit." Jibreel says, "Oh God, then who is for him on this night?" Allah says, "On this night, I will be his companion. I shall be his light. I shall be his expanse. For he yearned me and he called me. He recognizes me. This is that level. That when we come to that very basic level of our existence, and we say, oh Allah, even though I am the greatest philosopher, the greatest scientist, yet in myself I acknowledge this state of lack, this state of need for you. Here I need to find you. I need you in the most intimate way. You see, what happens to us is, even this is not the true finding, but we need to go through this, for we need to pass through these levels. There is a need in all of us to come out of a pretentious world. You know, most of us are stuck inside this pretentious world of ours. We give ourselves security, we give ourselves safety, but there is no safety. There is no security. By Allah, there isn't. The fact that when our business empires start crumbling and we start making deals with God shows we haven't found God at all. The fact that when the crushing pain comes upon my chest and I lose my composure shows there is no God. The fact that when my dear ones are being taken away from me and I feel so lost for any direction shows there is no God. For the one who has created life shall take life whenever he wants, and I shall not be able to stop him. وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُجٍ مُشَيَّدًا. Even if you are in the most fortified towers, you shall not be able to stop him taking you. The one who has given you palaces may reduce you to dust by tomorrow. The one who has given you the fame of kings might bring utmost humility to you. Had you found that God would be your life, not the life of this world. Had you found that God, He would be your treasure, not the palaces of this world. Had you found that God, then His validation would be enough for you, not the false fame that the Sulaiman of this world achieves. So after everything, we come to the door of God and we say, oh God, the inner need, beyond everything, even if this world has become a paradise for me and I've learned everything about it, yet there is inner need in there. And that inner self needs to find you. Do you know why we never grow? Because we are never here. Arif is never in front of you. There's a pretentious person who sits in front of you. He is not Arif. How beautifully Rumi has said. He said, oh, you who curse Shimar and Yazid and lament Hussein, look within yourself. You will find that you are your own Yazid, you are your own Shimar, and you are killing your own Hussein. If only you knew who you are. The reason why we never grow and we never find stability is because we have never emerged. We have never woken up. These are actors, insecure people. They need religion to give them security. A man of God knows there is no security. A man of God is Hussein, who opens his chest to the arrows. In tearing off my chest is my life, O my Lord. In being deprived of my possession is my greatest gain, O my Lord. In the cutting of the arms of Abbas is my greatest strength. In the wounding of the chest of my Akbar is my heart. A man of God is well beyond these things. So the first awakening comes, in which there is acknowledgement to God that, oh Lord, I am this. I need you to acknowledge me and I need you to accept me. Beyond the strength that the people see is the weakness of a child that I am. Beyond the confidence that you have portrayed in front of my audience is the deep insecurity. Beyond the clarity that my mouth gives is dire confusion. Beyond the calm that you portray is the inner turbulence. Oh Lord, it is here that I need you. Now this is a more intimate finding of God. A sort of finding of God that is real for the beginners upon the path of love. For the first time I'm acknowledging to God that, oh Lord, I am. I am not the one the people see. I am this. At that point, Allah says, I will become your companion. And this is the first true glimpse of God. That now you have truly come to me. You have truly acknowledged that state of need that you really are. That intimate, deep-seated need. And at that point you have searched me. And at that point, now we begin to find God properly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, but I am the companion of those who believe. You see, when we say we believe, we don't really believe. Believe for us means that we are conveniently ascribing to something that gives us some peace. Have you not noticed that we are Shia Muslims, yes? And throughout our life, we find arguments to convince us that we are right. It's odd, all of this is very odd. I am a Muslim. Throughout my life, I will find arguments to convince me that what I subscribe to is accurate. It is a silly world. We have an identity that is not ours. This identity of Shia and Muslim has been placed upon our heads. And the rest of the life is conveniently spent in convincing ourselves that this ludicrous state of ours is an accurate one. A Hindu does the same, a Christian does the same, a Buddhist does the same, a secularist does the same. The whole of humanity is involved in the same madness. Can you recite salawat, please? For the first time when we awaken, we say, oh Allah, truly, I don't know where I am. Inside there is nothing but emptiness, there is nothing but confusion. I have read all these Qurans, I have done all these Hajjs, I have fasted so many fasts, I have contributed to cosmology, astrophysics, I have worked for the world, I have given charity, spoken for the rights of the poor, spoken for the rights of the oppressed, constructed elaborate arguments on the need of social justice, but oh Lord, in there is nothing but emptiness. None of this is satisfying for me. I am still a person who is anxious, filled with anxiety, filled with insecurity, filled with void and nothingness. I know I'm a pretentious being. Oh Lord, I need you here. This is the first awakening. It is here that we begin to get some glimpse of Allah. When that glimpse comes, we begin to grow through this beautiful God. Oh Lord, I acknowledge I cannot control the situation. Allow me now to accept the situation as it unfolds. How beautiful is this statement? Now I know, O Lord, that to the best of my ability I really cannot control it. Instead of being a frightened child from within, allow me to embrace it. Through you, bring me to a stage where I can conquer my fear. Oh Lord, but what will they all say to me if I say this? But oh Lord, you know that I know that that is the truth. Allow me through you to say what I'm supposed to say, even if after that I'm stoned to death. Oh Lord, allow me to accept that you have full control on my inner being. I have none. Allow me to understand that what you are doing for me at that innermost level is the righteous thing to do and is the truth, and I need to grow through that. How beautifully, as Hussein said, La ilaha ghayruk anta thiqati fi kulli hali wa la ma'buda siwak. It was written and inscribed on Hussein's shrine, salamullah alayh, that after he lost everything and lost hope, this is what he cried out, Anta thiqati fi kulli hali. You are the one I rely upon in every state. Wala ma'buda siwak. And there is no God other than you. At what time is he saying this? He is saying this at a time when he has lost everything. How can God be the one you trust, O Hussein? Anybody other than you would have lost full confidence in God. But how strange is your story, O Hussein, with your God, that as everything is taken away from you, you find God is the point of your trust. So that intimate self needs to open up to God. Until and unless I acknowledge myself, that, oh Lord, this is who I am, there is no finding God, because otherwise the eyes are shut. For the first time, the person opens his eyes and says, this is what I am. Oh Lord, this is the truth of me. Embrace me and accept me as I am. And Allah says, but I've always accepted you as you are. I need you to accept yourself as you are. Maybe a few analogies might do well here. You see, why do we need a friend? Why do we need an intimate companion? Because in this world of ours, we have to be strong. We have to be confident. We have to portray we are in control and we know. Yes? Because others are dependent upon us. I can't show my weakness to my family. I can't. I can't go and cry in front of my audience and say I'm the most sinful person, even though they might think that. Alhamdulillah, you're awake. Salawat. I wasn't aware that everything was going in there. I have to portray a personality. What happens here is that I find this exile within myself, this loneliness, that I have to be all these things for everybody. But I need somebody to cry to. I need somebody to go to. I need somebody who will listen to me and allow the real self to emerge. I can't do that with anybody. If my mother knew what burdens I carry, her welcoming lap will become unwelcoming. As Hussein says, O people, O Allah, if people knew about me what you know about me, the smiles, the warmth, the embraces that await me shall turn their backs upon me. I need somebody. It is at that level that we first find what resembles the true God. But even there, that inward finding is the other. He's not the one. So we go to Allah, we say, Allah, this is what I am. I need you to accept me. Oh Allah, I'm hurt. Oh Allah, I'm weak. Oh Allah, I get angry. Oh Allah, I get offended. Oh Lord, who can I complain to but you? Hussein says to Allah, oh Allah, I complain to you about what they are doing to me. Hussein says to Allah at the fall of Akbar, oh Allah, it is unbearable. But you are with me, accompanying me in this tragedy and in this event. What makes it bearable is that you preserve all souls with what they have done. What makes it bearable is that you are my companion and with me. When we acknowledge ourselves in front of God at that deep-seated level, then we find that we begin to find our lost treasure. That the one that we're looking for beyond ourselves is to be received from well within ourselves. We begin to find a state of substantive living, a state of true existence, an existence in which the true being is growing, not a pretentious being. The Sulaiman of the earth is beginning to become the Sulaiman of the Arsh of the soul. Now the proper control is coming. But even that is a prelude into the true story. That when that companion touches us so beautifully, and when we find the beauty of that companion, the companion then starts taking our lack and starts replacing it with his completion. Our fear gives way to confidence through him. Our lack of control does not perturb us anymore, for in lack of control is utmost control. The fear of death does not cause us to become disabled. Death becomes a means to him. Difficulties become opportunities to grow towards him. Ya Hayy, make me Hayy like you. O Forgiver, make me a forgiver like you. O one with clemency, allow this heart to become forbearing. O charitable and noble, make me noble and charitable. This is the first point where we begin to find God. After this point, we begin to realize, actually, the one that we were looking for beyond ourselves wishes to awaken from within ourselves. Even this yearning to find him is my yearning to find him, which is the biggest veil inside me. For how can he be found by blind people? Mahmud Shabistri said once, he said, take a broom and clean the heart of all the idols. When you have cleaned it of all idols, then he shall occupy his throne. You are the idol. You are the one who is the veil. There is no veil beyond you. The one that you're looking for is not to be found beyond yourself, is to be recognized deep within. So Isa was told by this group of people that we are indeed in love with God. Now I'm going to finish here for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. What happens when a person falls in love? When we fall in love, there are two things. We say to the object of love that I am in love with you. But then we chastise them and torment them, don't we? Most of the wives torment their husbands in the name of love, don't they? Because they love themselves. Or men chastise their wives in the name of love because they love themselves and they want the object of their love to become like them. This is what Iblis displayed. He is in love with God. But the God that he wants to love, not God as God. But when we are in love with the object of love, the beloved, what happens is that the lover begins to give themselves away to the beloved. Have you not seen when two people are terribly in love with each other and are companions, you see one and you're reminded of the other? You recognize that? I don't know if this is an appropriate moment to say this, but back in the day when we were young, when we would see one of our friends, we would say, you look like Rajesh Khanna totally. Because we begin to resemble the beloved. Our identity is lost in the beloved. This is what begins to happen. The journey of love is the one that begins by acknowledging ourselves and then finding him in the most glorious state in which we begin to lose ourselves. Zainab comes at the grave of her brother. Now, what sort of love does she have for him? She is seen as a very weak person in the love of Hussein on the night of Ashura. Hussein says, indeed, they will kill me tomorrow. She slaps her face and faints. On the day of Ashura, she is taunting on Muhammad. Why are you still alive? She is running at the body of Akbar, lest the dagger takes the life of my Hussein. She is running to the hill, calling out, "O Hussein, cry out to me that I may know you are still alive." She is weakened in the love of her Hussein. As she begins to find her God, look at where this divine lady arrives to. Hamid ibn Muslim says, "Are these two little children without a parent or a guardian?" Nay, Hamid, they are the sons of Zainab. Why is their mother not wailing upon them? Find her at the body of her brother Muhammad. He goes there. Zainab is embracing the torn body of her brother. And this is how she cries. She says, "Oh brother, I would not leave your body. Even if the beast of the jungle were to come and devour my flesh. But oh brother, taking care of your orphans has tired your sister. But oh brother, do you not see how the whip of shimmer has blackened your sister's back? They are taken upon camels. If Hussein's grief is not enough, then the camels are driven at such brutal speeds that children are seen falling out of the laps of their mothers. They look on as the raging hooves of the horses trample upon them. This Zainab, torn, devastated, stands before Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. Jubilantly he looks at her, takes his staff and pokes at the face of Hussein. Cheerful face and smile you had, O Hussein. Looks at Zainab, tears flowing from her eyes. Zainab, what do you see in the decree of God? What do you see in the treatment of God? How He has treated your brother? This is where divinity prevails upon her blessed soul. She says, "Ma ra'aytu illa jamila." I do not see Ibn Ziyad, but the beauty of God prevail. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. ماتم حسين.
Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein.
Sham, hai Sham, 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 Sham, hai Sham. तेरी उम्मत के ज़ेवर पहन के, तेरी उम्मत के ज़ेवर पहन के, देखो नाना चली हूँ मैं शाम, शाम, हाय शाम, शाम, हाय शाम, शाम, हाय शाम. तेरी उम्मत के ज़ेवर पहन के, तेरी उम्मत के ज़ेवर पहन के, देखो नाना चली हूँ मैं शाम, शाम, हाय शाम, शाम, हाय शाम, शाम, हाय शाम। मैं देती कफन तुझको भैया अगर सर पे रिदा मेरी होती, मैं देती कफन तुझको भैया अगर सर पे रिदा मेरी होती। घर होते खुले हाथ मेरे तेरे जख्मों को हाथों से धोती। पाबंदे रसन सर भरे ना, पाबंदे रसन सर भरे ना। देखो भैया चली हूँ मैं शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम। ऐ नाना मैं कैसे सुनाऊं दरबारे शकी का वो मंजर। ऐ नाना मैं कैसे सुनाऊं दरबारे शकी का वो मंजर। सब वलियो हाफिज थे बैठे और सर पे मेरी ना थी चादर। ए नाना तेरी बेटियों को, ए नाना तेरी बेटियों को क्यों लाए सर नंगे आम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम। तेरे आबिद पे तारीख रशी थी और कुलसूम सहमी करी थी। तेरे आबिद पे तारीख रशी थी और कुलसूम सहमी करी थी। कभी देखूं मैं जख्मी सकीना जिसके दामन में आग लगी थी। कभी रोऊं मैं अपनी रिदा को, कभी रोऊं मैं अपनी रिदा को। कभी देखूं मैं जलते कयाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम। तेरे बच्चों को लेकर गई मैं शब भर सारी रोती रही हूँ। तेरे बच्चों को लेकर गई मैं शब भर सारी रोती रही हूँ। कभी गाजी का लेजा बदल के मैं पैरे भी देती रही हूँ। इन बेवा बहू बेटियों से, इन बेवा बहू बेटियों से क्यों करते नहीं हो कलाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम। मैं देती कफन तुझको भैया अगर सर पे रिदा मेरी होती। मैं देती कफन तुझको भैया अगर सर पे रिदा मेरी होती। घर होते खुले हाथ मेरे तेरे जख्मों को हाथों से धोती। पाबंदे रसन सर भरे ना, पाबंदे रसन सर भरे ना। देखो भैया चली हूँ मैं शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम शाम, हाय शाम।
तवज्जो ज़ियारत।
अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या नबी अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या अमीर अल-मुअमिनीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या फातिमत अज़-ज़हरा सय्यदती निसाइल आलमीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या खदीजत अल-कुबरा उम्मुल मुअमिनीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या अय्युहल हसनुल मुज्तबा, अस्सलामु अलैका या अबा अब्दिल्लाह व अलल अरवाह अल्लती हल्लत बिफनाइक व अनाखत बिरहलिक अलैका मिन्नी जमीअन सलामुल्लाहि अबदन ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس وأختيك زينب وأم كلثوم وبنتك السكينة. السلام عليكم يا شهداء كربلاء وأسراء كربلاء جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولى ابن مولى، السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء، السلام عليك يا معين الضعفاء والفقراء. السلطان أبا الحسن مولانا علي بن موسى الرضا، كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء. سلام الله وعلى آبائك السبعة وابنائك الأربعة وعلى أختك فاطمة المعصومة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا حجة الله يا ابن الحسن يا صاحب الأسر والزمان، سيدي الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمامي وإمام الإنس والجان. أجر الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك واجعلنا من أعوانك وأنصارك والمستشهدين بين يديك. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. الفاتحة مع الصلوات.
Can I request that we're all seated for the question and answer session, please? Salawat. Okay, we shall now have a 15-minute question and answer session with Sheikh Arif on tonight's topic. If you have any questions, please raise your hands and I'll try and come by with the wireless mic. If you don't feel comfortable voicing your questions, you can look for a paper and pen on the sides of the chapel to write a question. So if we have any questions, we can begin with those.
Assalamu alaikum. We've discussed the fact that we're all on sort of individual journeys to find God, and because we're all individual people with different perceptions and everything, our journeys towards God will all be different. But in Islam, we are all prescribed the same methods of finding God. So for example, we all pray the same way and we all fast the same way, and we're told that if we do these things with intent and with purpose, knowing the meaning behind them, we'll find God. But that confuses me slightly, because if we're all on individual journeys, shouldn't our methods of worship also be individual?
Let's just answer that in a broader way, yes? If a person is worshipping God through fear of lack of control, God will honor them. If a person is worshipping God in order to find the reward of paradise, God will honor them. If a person is worshipping God in order to morally better themselves, they will find God in a more intimate way. If a person is worshipping God to find inner peace, then they will find God in more intimate way than the others. Yes? So that's the first thing. God honors everybody at their level. Now, when we are told pray and fast and do Hajj, the others are also told, these are your prayers, this is your pilgrimage, this is your direction, as the Quran says. So Quran here is giving humanity a chance of finding their truth. God has a certain purpose for humanity at large on the face of this earth, in the Khilafah of Adam. That purpose is being attained whether we like it or not. Now, coming to the individual, our methods might be the same, but how we interact through those methods is very subjective and individualistic. A person says, Rabb al-Alameen in prayer. And for them, Rabb al-Alameen is a mere proclamation of something that is dictated to them by God. That is meaningful for them. Another one says, Rabb al-Alameen, and then brings this meaning at the individual level, that we as hand of God need to feed the family of God. Another one says, Rabb al-Alameen, and sees the beautiful ecological balance and control that God has over every affair of this universe. Their association and relation with this portion of devotion is far more intimate. Another one says, Rabb al-Alameen, to say that the Alameen is nothing but you and your Rububiyyah. That is a person who is now melting away in God. So now, despite having that standard practice, how we relate to that standard practice is individualistic. So you are told by Quran, respect your parents, your mother and father. لا تقل لهما أف. Even if they swear at you, they curse you, whatever, don't say uff to them. Here is a person who says, I really don't like my parent, but I will not say uff. The Prophet goes a stage further, and he says that if a child looks at the parent in an unbefitting manner, then God disowns that child before the parent can react. Here now is a deeper sense of association with the parent. Then at another level, the Prophet explains that no matter what you do for your mother, you can never recompense or pay back, because you as a parasite wanted to come into this world and she gave her whole existence for you, you can never repay the debt. So at one level, everybody is associating with the parent in the same way, that this is a parent I need to respect. But in that, there are different layers in which a person relates to their parent. Now a person comes to this stage with their parent that they say to their parent, I live for you, I die for you. You are my treasure. You are my world. You are my beginning and you are my end. They will maintain that first level of respect, but inwardly that association is so divine, it's so grand. It's like Akbar with his father. Where a child will defend their father, but the sentiment with which they do is individualistic. So even if you have standard practice, the way we relate to God through that standard practice is individualistic. Now, if somebody says, well, in addition to this standard practice, can I not also meditate? Of course, meditate, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow and after. Meditate, find other ways of unveiling the self and allowing God to emerge. Yes? I can't hear you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I was just wanting to ask, when we're born, we have a self-identity. We grow up, we have a self-identity. It's very intuitive.
We have what? Self-what?
A self-identity.
Yes.
So we relate to ourselves as an individual, and that's incredibly intuitive. To arrive at the awareness of the oneness of God, is there a need for us to relinquish this self-identity?
The biggest veil from God, as we will begin to explain tomorrow, that after this level of finding the companion, is then to deny this self-identity. For nothing with which I identify has any value or any worth. There is no place that I can call I. There is nothing there that I can say is I. There is no I. It's a false illusion. So the denial of self-identity is the key to finding the one, yet we will still be individuated as we are. So we need to explain that over the next 2 days, that how we reconcile between a realm of lack of identity with identity. Yes? So inshallah next 2 days we'll be talking about that.
Okay, I have a question from the online platform. I have a question on what the Sheikh said with regards to finding God and how people try to justify their beliefs daily, whether they are from any faith or religion. How are we supposed to be convinced?
I don't understand the question.
I'm not sure I do either, but I will try and...
How are we supposed to be conceived of or convinced of our own faith?
I think that might be what it could be asking.
Yes. If that's the question, then that is the most important thing that we are after. How do we come to that level of certitude? Yes? We don't. If this is what we are trying to do, if we are trying to prove the faith in which we exist, we never come to certitude. Certitude only comes if we are brave enough, to open up to God and to say to God, I really don't understand. I really don't know. We want to talk about this in the next 2 days, and at that point we begin to acquire stability, not as the individual me finding stability in the sense of convincing answers, but in terms of me saying I do not know, and then arriving at the truth. Yes? The religion of the Blessed Prophet Muhammad and Ali Muhammad is the religion of God and the religion, but it comes without the label of Shiaism or Sunnism or Islam. In its essence, it is colorless and it is orderless. It is nothing but pure beauty and divinity and splendor. Yeah?
If no one has a question, I have a question. Sheikh, you mentioned that we are accustomed to finding God from the other as opposed to from within. I'm curious as to what the reason is for why we have this tendency to look for the other.
When we feel that the treasure is outside us, we will always look for the treasure, won't we? If we understand that the treasure is within, and I am the covering on that treasure, then we will not look outside, will we? How beautifully Rumi puts it. He says, "O you who marvel at the luminous sun beyond you, acquire your own luminosity. The brilliant sun of today in front of your light shall appear as dim as a flickering star in the distant sky." Yeah? He didn't say it in those words, I paraphrased him, by the way. I thought I should take the credit for that.
It's quite poetic.
That's ego speaking. Shall we finish?
I think I have one more question. That's okay. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. So maybe a bit of a straightforward question, but the way I'm feeling is a bit depleted of energy. I.e., what I'm trying to say is, I feel like so submissive if you go down this route, that you feel like, how are people fighting ISIS? How are we going to fight with Imam Mahdi? Where's this energy going to come from if we're so just happy and tranquil and peaceful? I feel like sleepy. And, you know, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. I feel so passive and submissive this way that you don't feel the urge to do anything.
This is absolutely the problem with this type of endeavor, so we need to explain it. Rumi says, he said, had he not kept heedlessness in the world would never have evolved. Can you see that? It is because we forget God. So we become ISIS and we want to remove ISIS. The constant struggle is there. Yes? He said, heedlessness is the cause for the growth of the world and the human family. It's beautiful, the way it's happening. It's phenomenal, if only we could step back. Now the problem with the line of enlightenment is that you become passive. You say everything is fine. But there is a truth beyond it. And the truth is that as I struggle within myself to overcome anger with calm, desperation with confidence and clemency, revenge with forgiveness, beyond myself I do the same thing in the human family. Because I need to arrive at this understanding, deep-seated understanding, that the ISIS is me, that the saint is me. It is nothing but me. As I struggle here, the body struggles outside. The whole of this human consciousness has to arrive at that glorious pedestal of displaying the unrestricted beauty of God as a whole. And humanity, like an infant, has started to crawl, has started to walk, has become an imaginative child. And now humanity is in its teens. There is no restricting its abilities. This is where humanity is today. It's in its teens. My goodness. It can destroy itself, or it can become the Burak and take flight. This is possibly the most sensitive time in the human being's existence right now. The struggle outside ourselves is the most accurate depiction of the struggle inside ourselves. The only difference is inside is an individual. Outside is an individual depicted in 7 billion people. Yes? So as you're not depleted from within and you're struggling to find God and beauty, outside you will not be depleted, if that is the perspective. Okay.
Okay, thank you. We'll close the session there for today. Thank you all for your participation. Just a couple of announcements then. To improve the quality of our public lectures, we have feedback forms available at the entrance, which we'd like you to urge you to use and fill out as critically as possible. Once completed, please hand your forms to any volunteers. There is also a special photography exhibition on display during these 5 nights, depicting the great Arbaeen of Imam Hussein by Brother Tom Toby, who is an award-winning Australian-based photographer. The exhibition is located in the downstairs conference office, where all the pieces are available also for silent auction. What I also have here is a book recently published by Sheikh Shafalada called Baladatun Tayyibatun, which depicts and talks about the current humanitarian crisis we have in Yemen. All proceeds go towards the cause of Yemen. It's available for £10 at the front desk. Tomorrow night's program will start at 6:09 p.m. with namaz and then end with full niyaz. Finally, can you please recite Surah Fatiha for all our marhumin al-Fatiha. Niyaz will now be served in the